Amazon goes public on May 15, 1997, pricing its initial public offering at $18 per share. Investors pushed demand immediately, and by late 1999 the stock trades at $106, reflecting optimism around e-commerce's explosive growth. The company, still generating modest revenue compared to traditional retailers, uses the inflated valuation to raise capital and expand aggressively. Employees celebrate each new online order by ringing a physical bell in the office, a small tradition that underscores how rare purchases initially felt. When the dot-com bubble bursts in 2000, Amazon's stock collapses by more than 90%, reducing its market capitalization from billions to near irrelevance. Competitors disappear rapidly, but Jeff Bezos, still chief executive, emphasizes a strategy focused on long-term growth over quarterly profit. He argues that investments in infrastructure, customer trust, and logistics will create a foundation that speculative rivals lack. That focus allows Amazon to survive when most internet retailers fold, turning the company's survival into the defining gamble that sets it apart from its peers. Amazon introduces Prime in February 2005 as a subscription priced at $79 per year, offering members unlimited free 2-day shipping. The model shifts customer expectations by tying convenience to a fixed annual fee rather than transaction-based charges. Within 1 year, the program surpasses 1 million subscribers, signaling that consumers value predictability and delivery speed enough to commit long-term. For Amazon, every subscriber effectively prepays loyalty, reducing customer churn and raising average order frequency. Over the next decade, Prime expands far beyond shipping, adding streaming video, music, and exclusive deals to widen its appeal. By July 2015, the company launches the first Prime Day, creating a mid-year sales event that rivals Black Friday in volume. Membership passes 200 million worldwide by 2021, making Prime one of the most successful subscription services in retail history. What starts as a logistical perk becomes a lock-in mechanism, ensuring that customers rarely shop elsewhere once they commit. In March 2006, Amazon launches Amazon Web Services, beginning with simple storage service known as S3 and Elastic Compute Cloud, or EC2. The idea emerges from internal demand for scalable computing power, which Amazon decides to commercialize rather than keep in-house. By renting infrastructure on a pay-as-you-go basis, the company creates a product category that did not previously exist. This decision positions Amazon as a utility provider for the digital economy, parallel to how electricity grids once powered industry. The impact becomes clear as AWS revenue reaches $35 billion in 2019, growing faster than Amazon's retail division. By 2022, it controls 33% of the global cloud market, ahead of Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud combined. Its client list includes Netflix, NASA, and even the Central Intelligence Agency, demonstrating both commercial breadth and government reliance. Crucially, AWS profits bankroll Amazon's low-margin retail business, providing cash that allows Bezos to keep prices low and prioritize growth. Amazon's storefront grabs attention, but its cloud division quietly becomes the backbone of half the internet. Amazon acquires Kiva Systems in March 2012 for $775 million, signaling its commitment to warehouse automation. The deal brings in fleets of orange robots designed to carry shelves of products directly to human pickers, eliminating the need for employees to search aisles. By 2019, more than 200,000 robots operate across Amazon's fulfillment network, scaling efficiency far beyond what manual labor alone could deliver. The technology reduces click-to-ship time by 80%, giving Amazon a logistical edge that competitors struggle to match. Even with robotics integration, human workers remain central, often walking close to 10 miles per shift to keep pace with orders. The system therefore represents augmentation rather than full replacement, blending machine precision with human flexibility. He-robots resembling oversized Roombas swarm warehouse floors in tightly coordinated movements, a sight that illustrates the scale of automation driving Prime's speed. What appears to customers as a simple 2-day delivery promise is in fact powered by one of the largest robotic workforces in the world. By 2018, Amazon captures 49% of all U.S. e-commerce sales, an unprecedented share for a single retailer in a market with hundreds of competitors. The platform has also become the default search engine for shopping, with 1 in 3 product searches starting directly on Amazon rather than on Google. This traffic concentration means sellers must participate to remain visible, regardless of the costs involved. By 2020, the catalog grows to more than 350 million items, reflecting both consumer demand and the dependency of businesses on the marketplace. The marketplace itself, launched in 2000, transforms into Amazon's core revenue driver, with third-party sellers accounting for 60% of sales 2 decades later. However, participation carries high costs, with some vendors paying up to 30% in fees that cover fulfillment, advertising, and commissions. Small businesses once lured by exposure to Amazon's massive audience often find themselves locked in, unable to generate equivalent traffic elsewhere. Market dominance therefore shifts power away from suppliers and toward Amazon, cementing its role as the gatekeeper of online retail. Amazon enters the smart home market in November 2014 with the release of the Echo speaker, powered by its voice assistant Alexa. Adoption accelerates rapidly, and by 2019 more than 100 million Alexa-enabled devices are in circulation worldwide. The company invests heavily, allocating over $10 billion to research and development in voice technology to keep ahead of Google Assistant and Apple Siri. Amazon views Alexa not just as a convenience but as a new interface for retail, encouraging users to place orders verbally instead of through screens. By 2020, Alexa supports over 70,000 third-party skills, ranging from music playback to smart appliance control, making it a central hub in connected households. However, the device always listening functionality triggers widespread privacy debates as critics warn about constant data collection and potential misuse. Amazon downplays concerns by emphasizing user control, but skepticism persists as law enforcement agencies request access to recordings in criminal cases. The broader implication is clear. Alexa serves as a Trojan horse for Amazon, embedding retail access directly into the daily routines of millions of households. Amazon acquires Ring in April 2018 for $1 billion, adding video-enabled doorbells and security cameras to its portfolio. The devices quickly spread, with more than 10 million units shipped by 2021, making Ring the dominant player in the smart doorbell market. Amazon promotes the product as a deterrent to package theft and home invasions, while bundling it with Prime services to drive adoption. This expansion cements Amazon's role not only in retail and cloud services, but also in home security infrastructure. The scale of Ring's network grows further through partnerships with over 1,800 police departments across the United States, which gain access to customer footage upon request. Critics warn that this effectively builds a privately owned surveillance grid, one that bypasses traditional accountability rules for public law enforcement. Lawsuits over privacy breaches and repeated hacking incidents intensify concerns, even as Amazon launches the Neighbors app, which by 2020 records 22,000 posts each day. The result is that millions of porches double as surveillance hubs, embedding Amazon deeply into debates over privacy and civil liberties. In 2018, Amazon raises its minimum wage to $15 per hour, a move that sets a benchmark across the retail industry. The company highlights this as proof of worker investment, but internal data paints a different picture. Warehouse facilities report turnover rates of nearly 150% annually, meaning the average worker lasts less than a year before leaving. High attrition reflects both the physical intensity of shifts and strict productivity monitoring, which tracks the pace of individual employees down to the minute. Injury data adds another dimension, with 2019 records showing 1 injury per 100 workers each month in U.S. fulfillment centers. Reports of employees skipping bathroom breaks to meet quotas go viral, fueling criticism that efficiency metrics push human bodies beyond sustainable limits. These pressures lead to organizing efforts, most prominently in Bessemer, Alabama, where workers vote in 2021 on whether to unionize. Although Amazon ultimately defeats that attempt, the controversy underscores a recurring tension. The same systems that guarantee rapid delivery also extract a heavy toll on the workforce that makes it possible. Regulators in Europe fine Amazon €1.1 billion in 2021, citing abuse of its dual role as both a retailer and marketplace operator. Investigators conclude that Amazon uses non-public seller data to advantage its own private label products, undermining competition. In the United States, similar accusations surfaced during congressional hearings in July 2020, where Jeff Bezos testifies under oath for the first time. Lawmakers press him on whether Amazon manipulates search results to prioritize its own offerings, an allegation the company repeatedly denies. By September 2023, the Federal Trade Commission escalates scrutiny by filing a major lawsuit against Amazon, targeting what it describes as monopolistic practices. The complaint highlights high seller fees, self-preferencing, and copycat strategies that reduce consumer choice while inflating costs for merchants. Amazon argues that its scale benefits shoppers through lower prices and faster delivery, framing itself as consumer-friendly despite mounting legal challenges. The unresolved question lingers, whether Amazon's market power reflects efficient innovation or a monopoly structure that regulators will eventually force to change. Jeff Bezos founds Blue Origin in 2000 with the Latin motto Gradatim Ferociter, meaning step by step ferociously. Unlike Amazon's rapid scale, Blue Origin develops slowly, funded almost entirely by Bezos himself. He commits roughly $1 billion of his personal Amazon stock each year to finance rockets, facilities, and staff. The company positions itself as a serious aerospace contender during the 2010s, when its rivalry with SpaceX becomes a recurring industry headline. Blue Origin pursues vertical landing rockets while SpaceX races ahead with orbital missions, highlighting the contrast between methodical progress and market urgency. On July 20, 2021, Blue Origin achieves its first crewed flight with the New Shepard rocket, carrying Bezos, his brother, an 82-year-old aviator, and an 18-year-old student. The mission crosses the 62-mile Kármán line, the internationally recognized boundary of space, before returning safely to Earth. The flight demonstrates technical credibility but also frames Bezos as one of the billionaire space race participants. Because Amazon's profits indirectly fund these ambitions, critics argue that consumer spending and labor pressure enable his private space program. Blue Origin remains far behind SpaceX in launch volume, yet Bezos signals a long-term commitment to commercial space travel and future orbital platforms. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.